video series on code generation in Papyrus Designer. I have created a small sample project here with two diagrams. We have a class diagram that has patients, patient record, drugs, things you could have in a hospital system, and a use case diagram, which is not very important in this exercise. It's just to show you how you deal with things in your model that you don't want to generate. Now, if I want to do code generation, I can click anywhere in my model, right-click, and say Designer Generate Java Code. You might have less things here, that's not that important. Important is only that you have the Generate Java Code button, otherwise you haven't installed the right packages. Now if I press on this, Papyrus asks me to create a project that has a very specific name, and it only works if you don't change this name here. So if I start typing stuff, it won't find the right project, it will cause errors. Anyway, if I create the right project, it will do so and will generate everything that's in my model into here. And you see that this includes, for example, the patient, things I have in my class diagram, but also things that I don't want to have. And we'll start with that first. How do I get rid of the things I don't want to have? I'll just start from scratch. I delete all the code here. And you can, as you see, you can click on anything here and generate Java code. So either you select everything you want to have, for example, these 5 things, generate Java code, or, and that's a bit more convenient, you just create sub-packages. So I could here say new child package and give this a proper name, because this is really how my source code structure will look like later. So for example, I will call this Chalmers now. It's not the best name, but if I would create a proper tree structure, I could start from SE, Chalmers, then create further packages. And now I'll move all my classes from the class diagram and the relationships in here. That's everything that you see in the class diagram. And now I can just right-click on this package and say generate Java code. And you see that it gets SE, that's the name from the project, from the model. And it gets Chalmers, that's the package name here. So if I would create another package, it would add this with a dot. There are some compiler errors, and that's basically because I haven't defined the types of the attributes. So you see that here it everywhere says undefined, and that will have to change, of course. But you also see that, for example, the relationships are already there. So from patient, we have a relationship to one patient record, and we have a multiple relationship to drug. And Papyrus Designer creates arrays in this case for all multiplicities that are higher than 1. So if I would, for example, write 0 to 2 here and generate this again, I can only generate the patient, for example. Then it would also create an array here. And this is the first step in the code generation, just to show how this works. I'll go into types and incremental code generation and things like that in the next step.